manager of the Houston Astros, joining us on an off day. He did make a couple of changes from earlier this week and joins us now on the show, skipper Joe Espada. Joe, it's Matt and Ross. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Tell us about the flight. Do you sleep well? Uneasiness? That's not an easy trip to play the day game and fly all the way from one end of the country to the other.
You know what, guys? Thank you for having me. And I slept well. It was a long road trip, and the time of the change of time usually takes a hit on you. But it's in an off day. It's time to recharge and get ready for a series this weekend.
I think you should get every one of your guys to shave all their facial hair off, because whatever Ryan Presley did worked for him a couple days ago.
I told him that after his outing. I told him that the removing that facial hair worked out for him. He smiled, but yeah, he looked really good. He looked really good in the ninth inning there.
Look, Skip, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You would love to play 500 baseball on the road, in which you did. You got 3-3 normally. But when you're chasing a team that's got a hot streak going like the Mariners, I told the audience a few minutes ago, it's kind of kicking me in the gut right now. You're 8.5 back right now. This feels like a large difference to overcome. Obviously, it can be done, but it's just giving you guys, as we move along right now, even less room for error at this point.
Yeah, you know what? It's not where we want to be, but this is where we at. And like I told the players, and it's the month of June is important for us to cut down this lead, and we're not going to stop from working and from trying to do everything in our power to cut down that lead. We have been in the cusp of winning a couple of games, lost some games late in the innings. But we got to continue to push forward. This is no time to feel sorry for ourselves. If we want this, we need to dig in deep and continue to push, continue to find ways to win baseball games. I need to continue to put these players in a position to succeed the best of my ability, and there's still a lot of baseball left, Matt. I know that doesn't feel that way, and we haven't been in this position before, but I still have faith in this group that we're going to go through a hot stretch, and we're going to cut down this lead and find ourselves playing 500 baseball.
What has that been like for you, Joe, just personally? I mean, you get this opportunity to be the manager, and you look at like things like run differential, or we mentioned Ryan Presley, his batting average against is unlucky, and they one-run ball games, that usually luck turns around, and it just hasn't happened in a large scale yet. How have you been dealing with this?
You know what? For me, adversity is what makes and builds your character. I've been with this team for 7 years, and I believe in this group, man. That's the best thing I can describe you. It hasn't been easy, but I know that if there's a team that can do this, it's this club. The talent in that group, in that room, it's remarkable, and we have to all continue to push together. The way we are going about our business, our preparation, the guys are playing their butts off. They're not quitting, and that's all we can ask about this group. This is not about me and how I feel my first year managing and things not turning around. And listen, there's no time here to feel sorry for anyone. We just got to find a way to play better, more consistent baseball, and I know that we can do this.
I know that you've got a large fan base that loves this team, and obviously with the success it's had, they also are a boisterous group. Like any fan base, it's going to be successful, and there's going to be second guessing along the way with anything that you do, anything the players do. How about you personally? Do you find yourself second guessing decisions in the shower, in the bed, on the plane ride home, or has someone given you words of wisdom to say, you know what, if you keep doing that, you're going to drive yourself crazy?
No, you know what, Matt, there's a process or evaluation that us do, every coach, not only the manager, but every individual in that room, players, coaches, pitching coaches, hitting coaches. What can we do best? And that's part of the process. If it's second guessing, you call it second guessing, but we need to self-evaluate ourselves and hold each other accountable. And everyone does that. I'm one of those guys. But my job is to continue to remind our players how good this team is, how good we've been in the past, and this storm shall pass, and it will. There is no time to look back and, man, I wish I would have done this, because those games are over. That's in the past. We need to look forward and continue to move forward and find ways to put our players and our team in better position to win Major League games.
Couple of on-field things. Framber looked fantastic against the Anaheimers last weekend, and then you pulled him really early in the game. Was that a gut feeling on your part? Was that, hey, Skip, I don't have it today? Where was the decision to say, you know what? Normally, a Framber Valdez can pitch out of this, but it just didn't feel like that was ever going to come to pass.
Yeah, and I think that was my decision. They were taking some really good swings at his stuff, the sinker, breaking ball. They were laying off some tough pitches. When Framber is getting early ground balls, swing and miss on his breaking balls, that's a sign that Framber has it. And I just felt like yesterday was not that day. And I felt like it was best for us to bring in, go in our bullpen and give us a better chance to win the game, keeping us close, which our bullpen did that.
How are we feeling about Yanier Diaz and Kyle Tucker? What's the latest on them?
So Yanier Diaz is moving in the right direction. I expect him to be in there tomorrow. So hopefully I get some good news here from our trainer and from Yanier here, which is he's at the stadium right now getting some treatment and stuff like that. So Tucker, definitely he's not gonna be there tomorrow. We'll see how he feels tomorrow and over the weekend, and hopefully we can get him going here. The longer we wait for Tucker, the more we have to consider possibly giving him some at bats somewhere to get him ready for when he comes back from the IL.
Is it a methodical process for you to determine who's going to take his spot on a night-to-night basis, or are you trying to find somebody out there that can catch lightning in a bottle so he can play 4 or 5, whoever that may be, 4 or 5 games in a row, making it easier for you to make that decision on who plays right field until Kyle comes back?
Yeah, right now it's all about matchups and looking who can give us better at bats against a particular pitcher, a particular reliever. I feel good about that on the defensive side. It's just trying to find who can give us better at bats, more consistent at bats, more some production out of that spot till Kyle Tucker comes back.
You have balanced the first base position, a little bit of platooning. You used Singleton and Abreu yesterday, and I know that Jose's numbers are a little bit better, but not anywhere close to, I think, what you want, and from the organization for him, he wants at this point. What kind of conversations have you had with him since his return? What is he saying? What is he feeling? And how fluid are those conversations about, hey, I've got to give John an opportunity to get some playing time, or maybe you move Dubon over there for a little bit, whatever the case would be. How have you addressed it with him since his return?
You know what? So the plan was for giving him opportunities to work on the stuff that he worked in down in Florida. He's played 13 of the 16 games that he's been here. I also told him that John, deserves an opportunity to play. He has played really well. There's some really good matchup against some right-handed pitchers that are favorable for John. And those are conversations that we continue to have with Abreu and the rest of the players. But at some point we need to get some production. We need Jose to turn the corner and start, showing us, that the changes he made in Florida that actually look pretty good when he got back. But we need to have those more consistent bases. If not, we're going to have to make some changes and try to, because we do need some projections out of that position.
I'm going to assume you guys have set no timeline, have you? Or, if you have, maybe you don't want to tell us. But, I think a lot of people are like, we're waiting, and I know you're waiting. So where is that?
You know what, Matt? I keep, we have had conversation internally about the timeline, and there's a conversation that we keep, that I'll keep to ourselves, because that's internal conversation that we've had as an organization and with the player and stuff. So, but again, we need to see some changes, some production, some production out of Jose and in that position, because we need some good ABs. We need RBIs. We need guys to get on base. We need more from the bottom of our order, and it's something that we are expecting Jose to turn the corner, and And if not, we'll see which direction we'll go.
All right, enjoy the rest of your off day. Go beat your old boss, and we'll talk again next Tuesday. Thank you for the visit as always, Skip. We really appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye.
You got it. That's Joe Espada with us here on Sports Talk 790. There's an internal clock, and we'll never know it, and that's up to them to decide.
Mm-hmm.
The easiest way to not worry about that internal clock they're speaking of is for him to go, get multiple home run, not multiple home run would be nice, but multiple hit games.
3 for 4 would be nice.
Get closer to 200.
Yeah. We had a 2 for 4 on Sunday.
And Joe's in a tough spot.
He just is. It's not up to him.
And I feel bad because I feel like I have to ask that question. You try to soft play it as best you can. And, his hands may be tied because, again, there's an investment in Jose that you would not have with anybody else that's batting sub 200.